So there is a workshop that we take into schools that we call Ada Bit by Bit. And here's some photographs. So in the workshop, children aged between 8 and 11, they take part in a computer science activity that we relate to Ada Lovelace's adventures with Charles Babbage and the difference engine. So children are organized into groups of 3. And each group of 3 is provided with a small computer called a microbit. The children they're assigned different roles in the activity. So one's appointed the driver. So we can see the person here in the middle. They're the doer, they have hands on, they have to try, switch, shake things. The second one here is appointed as the navigator. So they provide instructions and encouragement to the driver. And then the third person in the group, they take on the role of Ada. So they're required to document and note what happens. Now, every 5 minutes, there's a sound. I can ring a bell or clap my hands, and the children rotate their roles. Now, the children usually find that the driver role comes fairly easy or natural to them. But they find being a helpful navigator or being an efficient note taker like Ada, they find that doesn't come quite so easy. So we use feedback and guidance to give them along the way and to help encourage them. Now, in March this year, we were invited by the Science Museum in Bradford to host the Ada Lovelace Bit by Bit workshops. However, there was a few challenges that we faced. So I'll show you, this is the space that we'd planned to deliver the workshop in. And one of the first problems was that there'd be no computers available or places to plug the computers in. So we decided it was going to be an unplugged workshop. And the time constraints were quite different. So there was a lot of groups, or 5 a day with 30 in each group and 25 minutes for each group maximum. But still with the same expectations of being engaging and enjoyable, and a hands-on practical activity where the children would be collaborating and using creativity. So in order to maintain that, I had to adapt the workshop. So at the start of the workshop, we presented the children with a concise history of Ada Lovelace's life, her education, some of the things that happened in her life, who she met, as well as there's a lovely story about how she dreamed of steam-powered flying horses and being inspired by the power of steam. So the children were then asked to work in pairs. And again, we assigned one child the role of a driver and the other a navigator. And they were asked to use some construction materials. So paper, cards, hole punches, scissors, and tape. And we asked them to build a simple model of a flying horse and then to try to make improvements to its flying ability. Now, the drivers were asked to work resourcefully to create the model, while navigators, their duty was to question and praise, encourage, support, and provide instruction guidance as on the inside of the leaflet. And then every 5 minutes, we flipped or reversed the roles. Now, very few of the flying horses actually flew at the first, and that was fairly intentional, but it was then through discussion and development that the flying horses, the children were able to achieve more successful outcomes, and these things were lifting off and taking off all over the place. So of course it was really lovely to see all these brightly colored, glittery flying horses all over the room, but even more so the excitement levels and the engagement as the children were working together, and you could see them making tweaks and changing their designs to improve and develop their models further. And in case you wonder what a flying horse looks like. Okay, so thank you. If you want any more information, contact me and I can send you copies of the leaflet, or happy to chat to people about that.